How's it going, people? This is Ketchup here once again, doing some more Takeda videos, but we are going to be focusing on Lasher this time. I've had a lot of requests to play Lasher, demonstrate what the character can do, so I thought I'd kind of, again, just kind of do a basic rundown of what this character is all about. So, interestingly, I'm not sure how particularly strong Lasher is, but it is good fun to play. And I've also done some ranked matches. I've done a ranked match video with Lasher, which I'm going to be uploading after this goes out. So you can watch this, hopefully, and then transfer what you've learned into watching the ranked matches, and hopefully we can demonstrate it a little bit. But let's kind of go over what this character has. He has jump normals, so when you jump diagonally, forward 1 is a really good hitbox on that. And obviously, you know, that's very difficult to deal with. He has jump in forward 2 as well. You must be jumping diagonally for these normals. Obviously, if you try and do it in the air, you'll just get an NJP and it won't work. So jumping diagonally, forward 1 is a forward hitting straight hit, and forward 2 is more of a sort of a circle, you know, more of a sort of circular motion. They have different hit advantages. Jump in forward 1 into back 2 will not combo, but jump in forward 2 into back 2 will combo. So in terms of like a defense mechanism, you could do jump back forward 2, which then does this, which actually combos. If you catch this, you can actually get a full combo on this, and it's you know, it's a pretty good thing, pretty decent. So you know, that's an easy 34% damage off an amazing jump normal, which special cancels into an overhead. So that's a mix-up in itself anyway. But we're going to go into his mix-ups in just a little bit. So his jump normals are very strong. They command a lot of the screen, and they have, you know, really good sort of space control when you combine it with his other normals like this. So, you know, they all have good range on them. Obviously, his down forward 1, which is another special move, which is this. Down forward 1 by itself is good to sort of special cancel at the end of this. So if you poke with this normal, for example, you can poke with the down forward 1, and it's just good general space control, and it just adds to it. It is unsafe at point blank, but at max range, very, very hard to punish if punishable at all. And that's down forward 1. It also extends combos, but once again, I'm going to go into that in just a minute. So that's it. He gets jumping, really good jumping normals. His down forward 1, really good distance, and another special move, which is down back 2, which is a low whip. On hit, the regular version is pretty damn plus, so you can go in for mix-ups as the opponent is standing up. This didn't used to be as plus as it is, but it has been changed. As far as I'm aware, it is also, I think, a hard knockdown. I could be wrong. Let's go AI options, roll mode on, and see if he does it. Oh no, never mind. It's not a hard knockdown, but it's knockdown nonetheless. That'll do. It's totally fine anyway. Let's go roll off, roll mode off. There we go. Cool. So that's part of it as well, but before I go into what you can do with Lasher, let's go over quickly the similarities between Shiro Ryu and Takeda, Shiro Ryu and Lasher, sorry. It really comes down to normals and strings. So they have the same normals apart from the jumping normals. So back 2-1, 2-4, that's the same. 2-1-2, that's the same. Obviously, all variations get this string here, but the general mix-up game you have in Shiro Ryu and Lasher, in terms of like, you know, what you can do with the kunai, which will be this down back 1 here. They both get the kunai as well. So the general mix-ups off the kunai will be unchanged. They will be the same, basically. It's just that Shiro Ryu gets different conversions because of his teleport, and Lasher gets different conversions because of his low launcher, which again I'm going to talk about in just a second. So the mix-ups will be the same. So for example, you know, back 2-1, which is overhead overhead. You can do back 2-1 into low kunai, which is overhead low. Overhead, overhead, low. So you generally, in a situation the opponent can block overhead or low, it will be overhead from the back 2-1, or it will be a low kunai. And that's generally one of his 50-50s. Now, here's where things get different and interesting for Lasher. His meter burn down back 2 launches the opponent in the air, as you saw me do just a minute ago. It's armoured, starts up very, very quickly, and launches on hit. And it's only -11 on block. It's not very easy to punish at all. So if you're doing it from this far away, it's very hard for the opponent to punish. It's only -11, so that's pretty decent. But it's really good as a wake-up attack because this comes out so quickly. Many Lasher players tell me basically it's his best wake-up option across all variations because it starts up really quickly, isn't ludicrously unsafe, and launches. So it's a pretty decent wake-up option. But that's that. The interesting thing when it comes to using this low launcher though is in every situation you would go for a low kunai, you can generally combo into his low launcher instead. So in Lasher, instead of doing, you know, back 2 into low kunai for the overhead low, you can do back 2 into meter burn low and then get a full combo launching into itself. And then you get the knockdown here, and then you can kind of apply the same mix up again. So that's kind of Lasher's mix-up, is in a situation we'd normally go for a kunai, you can go for a low instead. This starts up a bit quicker than the kunai, launches, is safe anyway, really. It's not super unsafe, it's only -11. So generally, that's it. If you want to go for a low, you can do a kunai, or you've got another option which comes from the low launcher, which is down back 2, and then that combos into whatever. So that's part of it. The most frequent mix-up you're probably going to land will come from this string here, and you want to be paying attention. It's forward 1, 2, 4, or forward 1, 2, 2, 4. What you're going to be paying attention to is the last bit of this string where it hits overhead. As you can see here, the final hit of 2, 4 hits overhead. 2, 4 is one button press, and he hits twice. So the Lasher mix-up will come from either, let's set him to block. He's not going to be able to get hit really because it's kind of difficult to demonstrate in training, but the mix-up will go, you've got an overhead, or you special cancel the first hit of 2-4 into the low launcher, and that's a true 50-50. So if the overhead hits, you special cancel into this anyway, and then you just get a okay chunk of damage. But if he gets hit expecting the overhead, here comes the low. The low will hit by itself, so just to demonstrate, you would do the same thing. Go for your low launcher, NJP, run in 4-4, down back 2, and then that's kind of it. You get the knockdown into more mix-ups. So let's say you catch this at the end of the string, go for your hard knockdown, or regular knockdown, and then start applying these mix-ups again. And that's just kind of one of the things you can do with Lasher. I don't want to kind of go into it too much, but you guys get the idea. In a situation, you can go overhead or low, you can go for the kunai, or you can go for the low launcher. Low launcher gets more damage because it's a combo. But speaking of combos, here's where things also get a little bit interesting. He actually gets really high meterless damage. Not meterless damage, sorry, really high damage in the corner. As far as I've been told, he actually gets more damage in the corner than Shiro Ryu does because of his down forward 1 on a juggle. It leaves the opponent quite high up in the air, as you can see there. It launches them on when they're airborne, which works really well. And you can do specific combos, so hopefully I can get these. You can do something like go for the overhead and then go for your kunai, and then go for your back forward 2, meter burn this, NJP, and then you do 4-4 into this, into that. That's what I tried to do. Let's try this again. So you can go for overhead, kunai, 4-4, back forward 2. The animation's different, but it's the same move. And then you go for this, and then you get the low. Well, if it connects, you get 50%. We'll try it one more time, but if not, you guys get the idea. It's not particularly difficult either. Ah, almost, but that's it. So 48%, even though I dropped it at the end. You guys, it's pretty decent damage there, especially for 2 bars. The general method is the same. You can also get it for the low. So the overhead, you do the kunai, and then you do the whole combo. So this whole combo will remain unchanged. Let's see if we can get it again. If not, it doesn't matter. Ah, it doesn't matter. The low is the same though. So you just do back 3 into the kunai instead, and then you do the same thing again. Oh dear, but yeah, that's the low, and then you can do the 1-1-2. Any conversion will generally come into the same thing, and if you can get it, unfortunately I can't really do it because I don't really play Lasher, but when you get the low whip, it adds a decent amount of damage, giving you 50% for those 2 bars, and the conversion will basically be exactly the same. It's just that the low starts from back 3, the overhead starts from back 2, and if you just get like a jump in punch conversion, you can do the same thing again. We'll just try this again for my own sanity. Oh well. Decent damage regardless, but that's kind of Lasher really. He is very grounded. There's not a huge amount to Lasher, but the down forward 1 is really good for kind of commanding space. But the main deal will just come from the fact that you're going to be juggling into this and then doing whatever you want to do, and that's just part of it. I like ending most combos in the takedown though, just because I like the situation you get there. But that's kind of Lasher. He does a really good job of commanding space. He does get 50-50s from the overhead into low, which does combo into itself, and he gets a really good wake up attack in the meter burn launcher as well. That's all I really wanted to kind of cover, just a general getting started with Lasher. There is more to this variation, but it's yet to be found by me, obviously, because I don't really play the character all that much. But hopefully the ranked matches which I've done will kind of cover this a little bit. See if we can get this one more time, if not, whatever. Yeah, there you go, we got it. Well, yeah, 51%. It's pretty cool. Looks pretty swaggy as well. But that's Lasher. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit there. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch. Well, I say a whole bunch. I want to try and do some ranked matches with Lasher, not just one video, because I do like the variation and it's pretty good fun. But that's it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. That was Lasher Takeda. Hopefully you learned a thing or two there. But don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time, and that's it. Take care.